Hello, my name is DC. I'll be giving you match analysis for the Estonian Premier League. This is for the match of JK Tallinna Kalev versus Tallinna FCL Levadia. Okay, so now let's get into this one. But for that, let me just mute this. Okay, let's get into this. They're attacking right. As you can see, big space here. He definitely will try to exploit it. Yeah, yeah, good enough. Space was big as he moved. Everyone gets a bit closer, force him wide. But what I do like this is definitely something they practice in training because it's just too smooth of a move. He pushes all of them here. No one pays attention to the player that's running alone into this new space that has been made because as we noticed at first before the ball went forward, the space was here. Now that he's pushed it forward and made the pass out wide, the space has now appeared here. That's what happens when you have everyone focusing on one particular ball. Everyone's attention is to the ball. Everyone's attention. Everybody is focusing on the ball, and that's what allows him to sneak past everyone there behind. So we play it out. That's a lovely ball. And then he just plays it in. He just plays it in that area. I don't know if he miskicks it, but we'll just say he plays it back so that his teammate can finish. That's a good move. Everyone's calling for offside, but even they know. Otherwise, let's head on to the next goal of the match. Okay. When I saw this, I actually thought it was like a restart, but nope. It's I don't know if it's off a counter, someone gets the ball, who knows. Anyway, let's move on. He pushes the ball forward. Now, this for me is really annoying. All right, so let's cut the pitch here. This is a 3-on-2. I don't know how they messed this up. Number one, if you're going to commit, just commit one person because you have two players that have been taken out, and then he, he's just okay. He's making sure to avoid that. Like everyone running towards there, and then if they get past like one line, then they get past everyone. So he should immediately be going to pressure this ball. His focus should just be on going deeper, 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 just dropping. Because if two people are just going to be focused on this ball and do nothing, you're just going to open up space. And it's frustrating. He should go, try and challenge. If it does not work, it's okay. But if it does manage to push pressure, it means the ball will go back or just something else happens. But instead, they just decide to watch him. Just like that. None of them decide to take charge. None of them decided to take charge. At least if one went and then he dropped back and focused on the person running behind him, it would have been easier. But nope. They just watched and did nothing. He plays a lovely ball here, and this is actually a good finish. It really is. Takes it into his stride, boom. All because miscommunication and also misunderstanding from the defenders. Someone was supposed to engage. You don't just let someone move with the ball. You have to provide pressure, and then provide just if they applied pressure that they don't concede. It's either they don't they don't concede because they had more than enough men to do it. They really did. Let's just admire this finish. That's lovely. Love it when the ball rolls into the back of the net. Something oddly satisfying about that. All right, he gets the ball. He looks up, and then as we can see here, there's more than enough to deal with this. There's more than enough. Because here, one, two, three, four. But now the problem is they are occupying areas slash space, but they are not allocating themselves to be close to the people they're supposed to mark. Because what it ends up doing, yes, they're in a good position to defend zonally, whatever. But if the ball comes, he's free. He's free, unless they decide to, put pressure on him. And then as the cross comes in, they lose. Not okay. They get the first contact. I wanted to say they lose. No, no. They get the first contact. It's okay. But now here, he flicks it down. That he gets beaten way too easily. Puts it in the back of the net. We're gonna need a replay on that one because I don't know how. I don't know. If it was accidental or intentional, how he turned. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you know why I'm pausing like it like this. All right. So they get first contact. Wonderful. And this one is more of the ball was directed towards them, not that it was directed towards the attacker, because I don't, with the way people defend, I don't think he would have gotten to that if it was, if like it was in this area. But anyway, he gets first contact, right? So what does number 22 do wrong? He follows the, okay, so what it is that at this point, what he should have done, immediately that ball comes back down, stand your ground, go and, shoulder to shoulder. Because at this point, he's giving you his back. So there's no way he can turn. Best thing he should have done, stand his ground and then get close to him so that he does not turn. What he ends up doing instead is following the ball, and he ends up going to buy a sweet. And then he makes the quick turn, good on him, and that's a good finish. That is a good finish. Because here, boom, first contact, right? He's following it all the way. At that point, stop. Immediately the ball comes down, you immediately get very tight to him. Do not allow him to turn. Instead, he continues with his momentum, and then he just straps it down, takes a touch, leaves him to go and buy a sweet. That's a good finish. Really is. Uh, Here. All right. And as we can see, as we know from a certain channel we usually follow, someone has their hand up. In the next 5 seconds, they are going to concede a goal. All right, player on the wing here. Slows it down. Okay, this was some lovely trickery here. Boom, just like that, takes him out completely. Remember the guy that was pointing at someone? Pointing, because funny enough, if he was here close to him and immediately engaged him as soon as he steps up to try and take that ball, this goal does not get scored. Because guess who it lands to? He was the nearest to him. And then I used to think this was the best thing to do. If a player is about to take a shot and you run into a goal, that's the worst thing you can do. Because, yes, you occupy this, I'm not, okay, let's just, um, let me try and use this one. Maybe it'll give us. So you're occupying this space. This is the space you occupy. And this is the space that this man has to put. This is where the striker is aiming for. So yeah, I just want to make it more visible. So are you seeing this? So yes, you can run and try to be on the line, but if he's in this particular area here, by area I mean center of the goal, and you run to the goal, I mean he has everything to aim for here, everything. And funny enough, he can just aim to shoot the ball at your head. And then what happens is that you do not want to take a shot to the face. You're just going to end up avoiding it. So if they pressured, instead of going where they are here, they were here. And yet they've managed to increase the distance between them, where they were standing, and the person that is about to shoot. If they went further, this goal doesn't get scored because they put pressure on him. But unfortunately, they decide to go back. And boom! Remember the guy that was pointing? It deflects off him to enter the goal. So there was no point of him. Not really, there was no point, but even though he went back to stand on the post or on the line, the goal still went in. This is where at times it's better to just deal with it in advance or just deal with the threaded hand. I mean, because here, this is some really good trickery here. Boom. It's because it twists and turns him. And then they should have just followed him. If they followed him, and then it just deflects off him. If they followed him, make sure to keep it tight. They probably don't concede. Once again, that's some lovely skill. And you see, he uses the space. You see this here? You have to use it sometimes because it doesn't really take you to the line, but close enough. Use the space is given. And these two here, one of them should have followed instead. Yeah, and it's something else. Otherwise, the next goal, real quick. Somewhere here. Four is played. Yeah, he gets the ball. Fortunately, lands back to the attacker, cross, and he simply gets first contact. We'll try and see another angle if there was anything he could have done. All right, so he gets the ball there, cross. Yeah, he's simply the first to get it. Creates that separation. You don't need a lot of space as long as you can stretch your foot out, get that first contact. It's good enough. Really is. All right, so this was one of the not one of this is a really frustrating goal to concede. Not really to concede, but it's a frustrating goal to watch because it's so easy. And it's because someone doesn't apply pressure. It's one of those things. You think as if whenever you're watching a Premier League match, every time someone goes to apply pressure, they're always face forward. Let's say, for example, this is the person. This is going to be a very bad drawing. Boom, boom. They're always here rather than where he's standing. Because the one thing you always have to do when you're pressuring the box, especially when you're here, protect the goal. Act as a barrier. That's the first thing you do. Make the barrier, and then you see whether you will approach or you're just waiting for him to make the first move. Instead, look at what he does. You see the player that's here? You will see what he will do. This, yes, I've highlighted. I'm sure you've taken note. Look at what he does. Why are you backing off? Why? For no reason at all. And then if I'm a coach, everyone is running. There will not be any boy in the training ground. Everyone will be running because that's way too, it's just too simple of a goal to concede, really. Really is. Even, I don't even, yeah, he's not even celebrating. He knows. He knows. This is a penalty. Yeah, the handball. I feel it was a bit harsh, but anyway, let's just watch the penalty. This penalty is taking quite long. Anyway, I'm sure most of you understand why I'm pausing for all the good loyal viewers. And that's a good save, but there's nothing he can do about the rebound, really is. And then look at where he the effort was there. It really was. Otherwise, what a match filled with goals, but some of the goals conceded, very questionable. Anyway, that's been a match analysis. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.